So here is a follow-up on the Soval SV06 Plus with a Sonic pad. As you can see here, I have it connected. It's working. It's printing, kind of. It seems to be doing okay. I'm not getting errors on the console like I was getting before. I did go and find some different firmware or the configure file, one or the other. I don't know what changed, but this one seems to be working. However, this one right here, this guy, see a pad right there? This guy will not, well, it's not taking the firmware properly. And I'm fighting with it to get to accept the firmware. And so I did a complete power down, cool down, went through the whole thing, and I was able to get the core or the default firmware back on the thing. But that was a fight. So that's telling me that it's not accepting the Clipper firmware like it should either. And what was happening was I would connect the pad, let's say do a preheat to level, and the whole system would reboot. So I tried different SD cards, I tried different cables, I tried different firmware, I tried different config files. Same result no matter what I did, but the one commonality was when I went to reflash this back, it wouldn't take it. And so I unplugged it for a good hour, make sure all the capacitors discharged all the way, all that stuff, and it still wouldn't take it. Changed SD cards, went to a fresh SD card, got to take it. Cool, right? So then I went and put the Clipper firmware on the same SD card, tried to flash it, wouldn't take it. So I think there's something in that main board that's off. Now, I do have a spare main board. I bought one because I thought I had a problem actually with that machine. And so I bought a spare main board, and I'm halfway tempted to swap it out and see if I can get it to flash. I did find a Prusa profile, and I did some printing, some test cubes, and it was pretty ghosty. It was pretty bad. I do have the sensor. I haven't put it on the X or the Y yet to try to do a harmonic compensation. I might do that. I mean, even if it runs normal speed and I can use the Wi-Fi, that makes me happy. So I can send files to it without using an SD card. But right now, it's not printing better. It's actually printing kind of worse because it accelerated everything to make it run better. But I think because it's a plus and a lot of these profiles were written for the 220 by 220 bed and not for this 300 by 300 bed, that it's struggling. And so I have to rebuild the whole profile in Prusa and maybe reduce some of the speeds and stuff for this machine to get it to print properly. I'm not giving up on this machine yet. I just need it to be reliable. And they came to a conclusion. Why I like the Bamboos, and I have a Cobra 2 Max coming, is I don't have to sit and constantly dork with things to get it to print. And even the core firmware for the Sovals, they print well. And then it kind of like, when I need it, I don't have to sit there and mess with it. And that's why I kind of gave up on Creality, because every time I went to do something, there was always something I had to screw with. And so far, applying at least a Creality clipper to a non-Creality machine has put that level of instability into the printing process, which is kind of irritating me. So we'll do some more test running there. We'll see how it goes. Kind of ignore that stuff. I'm sorting plugs. And we'll decide what we're going to do with that one.